Hey everyone, welcome to Wax Pack Wisdom. I'm Jake T. O'Donnell. I am just back from my first ever experience at the Philly show, and it was phenomenal. Abby and I went. We went on Friday. A lot of time in the car Friday, a lot of time in the car today, Sunday, but in between, we had an amazing time. I had mentioned that we went to we were planning to go to a concert on Friday night. We did that. And then we were at the show all day yesterday, Saturday, and a little bit today on Sunday. And not only was it a great show, I got to spend some time with some folks, and that was great. Other YouTubers, had a few folks come up to me and say hi they're mostly commenters or watchers. And I was able to get some great pickups this weekend. A lot more individual card pickups than I even had at the National. A lot of stuff knocked off my various lists, and it's one of my best ever card show hauls. So I'm over the moon about that. I'm going to talk a little bit about the experience and then show the pickups. Before that, I have some footage to show you. It's all from Saturday. There's one table. It's of Stan Locke. You know how to find Stan, I assume. But check out the footage from Saturday.
That is not a bad theory. With him, it's absolutely not a bad theory.
That's always where my mind goes.
Oh, it's great, actually.
So that's everything. Anything else to look at?
That's it. I'll have stuff in
Ain't much for you.
All right, so the Philly show was everything I was hoping it would be and more. Amazing selection of vintage, amazing dealers, the premier vintage dealers in the country, all there pretty much, and very well laid out. It was very busy on Saturday, but it wasn't overwhelming. They have that whole exhibit hall in the front, and then the sort of back exhibit hall too, that you have more space to roam around. From what I understand, there's a lot more dealers in that sort of second space now than there used to be. It just was a tremendous experience overall. I would highly recommend that if you can get to Philly show, do it. It's a lot, like I said, a lot of time in the car for us to drive, and probably not super financially feasible to fly there for me personally. I will definitely say that Abby and I have already talked, and I think this is going to be something that we try to do at least once a year, is to go to Philly show. And it would probably be this one in September. So, like I said, got to spend some time with some great folks. I met up with Dan's Vintage Baseball PC. You see the picture there. Cameo in the background of B. Roth 6, Brian, who I also got to spend quite a bit of time with. That was really great. There's also a picture here of me with Paul Borges, the owner of PB Collectibles. Amazing card shop in Newport, Rhode Island. Has been featured on our channel. Paul has been for the find that he made. Just saw him both yesterday and today. An amazing guy, just a great dealer. Also, I did go to the YouTube get-together on Saturday evening for a little bit. And you see, I got the picture there. You see Coach Neal all the way over there on the left. He was one of the organizers of the event, so he was there, and you see me in there. I got to spend a bunch of time. You see him in that picture was Keith of the Lonely Basement. Great to spend time with him. And then I have cards for other folks that were there. You saw Brian, the High Pop the High Pop professor was there. It was great to see him, and he gave me a card. He gave everybody cards. He gave me this Topps Chrome Gold Glove winner of Greg Maddux from when he was with the Dodgers, sort of late in his career. So that is really cool. Thank you to Brian for that. That was a really nice little gift. Also had gifts was this gentleman, RJ Collects Sets. Yeah, these guys are all on YouTube, so definitely go and check them out. He gave everybody these awesome cards. These are specially made cards from a few years ago for an event that Steve Carlton did for St. Luke's Hospital, and they had made these custom cards, and he was a St. Luke's community ambassador. This is really neat. So thank you to RJ for that. That was great. Also met Mike, the vintage composer. Check out Mike's channel. And then I also have this. This is Mike's Mr. October handed these out, some of these Reggie Jackson cards. So check out Mike's Mr. October on there. And there were a few other folks. Dog Ate My Card Collector. He was in there. It's an amazing YouTube name there. So it was nice to see folks. We didn't end up staying for too long, and then we ended up going to dinner. But it was nice to see folks, the folks that way. I hope that's an event that they can do more often in the future. And then lastly, as we were leaving today on Sunday, ran into Sammy Thunder and Mookie Chilson. So you see me with those guys there too. So I just got to see them for a few minutes before we left. So amazing experience, and I would highly recommend, like I said, everyone go. So I had so many great pickups to show you guys. I'm going to go over to the table and show them to you. I'm going to try to get this up on Sunday night. I'm going on 4 Collectors to talk to Dan and a few other guys who are local Philly guys about the show. So looking forward to that. So check that out. Got a few more things coming up this week as well. But I'm going to go over to the table because I'm so excited to show you guys these pickups again. These are things I've been wanting for a while. So excited to show you. So let's go over there and I'll show them to you. All right, I have so many individual things to go through here that I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna start with like a big thing that I bought yesterday on Saturday, and it was from a dealer who he told me his name is Big Ed, and super nice guy. He had a card that had been on my list for a little while, and it is this E95 Mayo's Cut Plug N300 of Boston Beaneaters Hall of Famer Tommy McCarthy. And it's an authentic altered slab. You see some paper loss there, some creasing. I think possibly the single biggest reason is that the back is skinned. These are supposed to have black backs, and somebody had put this in a book, and when they removed it, obviously all of the backing came off. But I've been on the lookout for an affordable version of this card to add to my, my 1800s Hall of Fame player run. Of specifically Boston players or players with Boston connections, or just players that I think are interesting that I want to have. Tommy McCarthy was in the outfield alongside Hugh Duffy with Boston, the National League team, and had a Hall of Fame career. I still want the Hugh Duffy, but this is such a tough set, and I saw it and I thought, well, how often am I going to see this come up? So I figured I'd go for it. So really happy to add that one. Okay. Let me just show a couple of small pickups next. These are from there's a dealer who has just a lot of like ephemera and things like that. And these, I bought 4 vintage postcards, which is not usually something I do, but they were at the National as well, these folks, and I rifled through the boxes of different, like I said, ephemera items, and I picked out these postcards that all have Massachusetts connections, and these were all marked at $5, but I got 4 of them, and they only charged me $10 for all 4, so it was great. Evans Fields Athletic Grounds, Provincetown, Mass. You see there, some of these are blank on the back, and some of them have actually writing on the back. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these exactly. I just thought they were cool. Look at that beautiful Ball Grounds, Waban Park, Oak Bluffs, Mass. This is on Martha's Vineyard. An amazing image. Again, some writing on the back. This one was sent from the vineyard. And this, I thought this was maybe the nicest of all of them. This is on Cape Cod, the baseball game at Falmouth, Mass. How pretty is that? Just thought this was a cool thing. And then blank on the back. And then this, I need to do a little research on this. The baseball field, Brookside Park. The copyright is from Williamsville, Mass. and it was postmarked from Orange, Mass, which is out in Western Mass, and it was sent to West Bridgewater, which is kind of more Eastern Mass. I got to do a little bit more research on this, but I just thought this was cool. So really happy to pick those up. Like I said, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these exactly, but hey, why not, right? Let me show you guys a couple more. I bought a lot of raw stuff, more raw stuff than I did at the National. I didn't really buy much raw stuff at all at the National. These were two in the same package deal. A set that has been talked about on other YouTube channels, namely John Mangini's channel recently, is the W517 strip cards. And I did not own any. I am not a big strip card guy, but I saw this and I thought it was a good price. And I picked it up. I don't have any Harry Heilman in my collection. This is Hall of Fame outfielder Harry Heilman. He is pictured as being with the Tigers, but he, at this point in his career, very end of his career, he's with the Reds. And multi-time American League batting champion. So these are strip cards, so they're blank on the back. But I just thought this was a beautiful example, and I thought I would pick it up. And in the same deal, I got this card that I'd never seen before. This is a 1956 Topps Adventure set card commemorating Harry Aganis, who was a Red Sox, played with the Red Sox, was also a quarterback at Boston University, and he died tragically very young. And the name of the hockey arena at Boston University is called Aganis Arena. It's a multi-purpose. They use it for other things too, concerts and things like that. But I didn't even know this card existed, and I thought I'll pick it up. He does have a card in the 1955 Topps set, but this is from like a non-sport and sport set that came out in 1956 by Gum Products Inc. And I believe it is called a Topps set, but it's called Adventure, 1956 Adventure. So I picked these two up in the same deal, and I'm just going to add this to my Red Sox binder. I just thought it was really neat, and a nice way to remember Harry Aganis, who was a very well-known name in Boston sports. Okay. What do I want to show next? This might be a little bit harder to show, but I'm going to show this one. I rifled through a box of items on one dealer's table, and right near the end of the box, I was able to get this, a Yaz item that I need for my Yaz PC, and it is a 1967 Dexter press. It's just a photo. You kind of see the whole thing there. I could maybe try to tilt this up slightly so you can see a little bit more of it, but it's not. That's a facsimile signature, and that is cat hair on it. Really nice one. I needed this, and then you can see there's a little bit of info on the back. This, of course, being the year that he won the Triple Crown. So some info back there, and then you can kind of see the Dexter Press info on the back there. So I only paid $15 for this. I was really happy with that price. And like I said, that's a Yaz item that was on my list that I needed. So really happy to add that item. Okay. And next, I'm sticking with the stuff that I got on Saturday. This is still all Saturday stuff. So the last two are kind of the purchases I'm really psyched about. And the next two cards you're going to see are cards I bought from Bill Chappell, who was just an outstanding vintage dealer. He sets up at Philly. He sets up at the National. He sets up at Strongsville. Other vintage YouTubers rave about him, and he is wonderful to deal with. And I was so happy to buy two raw cards that I really liked. One that kind of was one I've been looking for a little while, and one that just kind of like struck my fancy as I looked at it. The one that struck my fancy was this one. This is a 52 Burke Ross of Dom DiMaggio. So really a nice card, clean example of a card belonging to one of the great Red Sox of this era. And you see the info about him back there. So I will probably send this one off to grade. I'm going to send the Heilman off to grade as well, just to have this slabbed up. But the big card that I wanted, that I just saw it like in one of the showcases raw, kind of tucked away, and it was a little hard to find it. And I saw it, and I was like, oh, that's the card I'm looking for. And it's this 1941 play ball, or sorry, 1941 double play. I always mess it up. I think everybody always messes it up. Of Lefty Grove and Bobby Doerr, two Hall of Famers on the same card. I've been looking for this. I wonder if Bill Chappell had this at his table at the National. I just didn't see it. But I saw some graded copies of it and nothing that really struck my fancy. I thought there was a good price on this. And you see there's a little staining on the right there. I think this will grade pretty well. But so happy to add this one of two Boston Red Sox legends, sort of Lefty Grove near the end of his career, and Bobby Doerr kind of as his career was getting going. So, yeah, just absolutely thrilled with that card. That's, like I said, that'll go to SGC. All right, so then I'm going to show you guys the last two cards from Saturday, and these were not in terms of the order, but these were. This is going to constitute and show you the big purchase for the weekend. There was a dealer, and I'm going to show his info. Okay, I just had to pause the video for a second to find this info. His name is Tom Botticelli, and I bought two cards in a package deal from him, and one of them is a card that I have been after. And was a big goal card of mine for the National. I didn't end up getting it. I got a different card from that set, but I'm going to show that in a minute. Tom was able to cut me a great deal on these two different cards. I'll show the first one I'm going to show you is this 1910 Standard Caramel E93 of Hall of Famer Fred Clark of the Pittsburgh Pirates, teammate of Honus Wagner, in an SGC 2.5. Now, if that image looks familiar, that is the same image that is on his sort of T206 action shot. And I saw the background and the image, and I was like, yes, I want that card. Look at the centering on that. Just a little crease on the bottom right corner, but no big deal on that. My goal, I sold a bunch of cards to Matt from Providence at the National, including a bunch of my T206s with the idea that I wanted to diversify my Hall of Famers in my collection. And that included getting cards from different sets of some of those players, and so that's why I wanted to pick this card up. And you see the checklist on the back there. Some big names in this particular set, but so thrilled to add this as part of the deal that I made with Tom. But this, like I said, this was not the big card, and I'm going to show you guys. This is my big purchase for the weekend, and I'm just no further ado. Here it is. I came home with an 1887 Allen & Ginter N28 John Clarkson, Hall of Fame Boston Bean Eaters pitcher, in an SGC 1.5. And you can see the 1.5 is because there's some paper loss on the right-hand side there. There's a little on the bottom as well. Otherwise, man, its card is just pristine. It's incredible. There's also what looks to be a dot, a mark on the back there, and a little bit of paper loss on the top left. But I don't care. What was funny about this is that Tom sells on eBay, and he had this exact card up on his eBay store, and I had been following it for a couple of weeks, and I go up to the table, and I see this card, and I'm like, wait a minute, like, is this card on eBay? And he says, yeah, and it's like, oh, okay, like, I've been watching it. This is a card I've wanted for a while, but man, look at this card. So this is going to go right next to my King Kelly that I bought from Don Hans at the National, and these cards will be in my PC forever. I am over the moon to have finally added a card that I've wanted for a while of 19th century 19th century Boston Hall of Famer, of a great pitcher of his era, John Clarkson. So over the moon about this. The biggest, like I said, my single biggest purchase this weekend was this card. I'm going to move some of these guys out of the way so that you can see them. You can see John Clarkson right there and have Heilman right next to him. Okay, so those were my big purchases on Saturday. Those were all my purchases on Saturday. And then I went back today, and I was only there for a couple hours, and I just could not be happier with what I was able to get today as well. I had seen a lot of cards around for my Diamond Stars Hall of Fame run, and I ended up picking up two today. And like I said earlier on Sunday, and these were from the same dealer. I don't remember his name, but he had a couple that I thought were good. They're both guys that were with the White Sox at the time. You see, there is Hall of Famer Al Simmons, number 2 card in the set behind behind Lefty Grove. It's just a little bit off center, and there's some marks on the slab there. Maybe I'll get this reholdered, but just could not be happier with this. It's just a clean looking card. I could deal with the off centering because it's clean, and that's hard to find with the Diamond Stars cards. So you see there's a little bit of writing maybe on the back there. And then the other one that I picked up was raw, and again, this will go to SGC, and that's of another Hall of Famer with the White Sox, and that's Ted Lyons. Yeah, very pretty card there, very nice. This is a well-centered example. Will definitely be low grade. You can see $45 on the back. That's it was a package deal. I ended up getting a good deal for both of the cards together. So there you go. And then the last the last batch that I bought today was something that I was a couple cards that I had seen on a table, and I went back yesterday on Saturday, and I went back today. I tried to find the guy. I finally found him. His name is Durward Hamill. He sets up at Philly Show. He also sets up at Shriners, and he had some Red Sox stuff that I was very interested in. And the first two things I will show you were the things that I really targeted that I wanted, and I finally am back in possession of Wheaties hand-cut 1952 Ted Williams cards. I've had the action shot previously. I've never owned the portrait, so I was able to get these as part of a deal. And it might be a little bit challenging, but I'm going to show you the other stuff that I got in the deal in a second. Let me figure this out. All right, I decided that the easiest thing is to just hold these. In addition to those Wheaties Ted Williams cards, Durward had a 1975 Red Sox photo pack, and I decided to buy that from him alongside those Ted Williams Wheaties cards. And there you see Captain Carl there. This is 50 years ago. This is the year that the Red Sox won the American League pennant and got close to winning the World Series, but they did not. Jim Rice had an amazing year that year. It's Carlton Fisk, who of course hit the home run. What a great shot of him there. Fred Lynn, MVP and Rookie of the Year that year, one of the greatest rookie seasons of all time. Amazing look on him there. Rick Burleson, the Rooster. Great ball player, great shortstop. There's a couple different Rico Petrocellis in here, who is a big-time friend of the hobby, signs a lot. Rico Petrocelli. Dwight Evans should be in the Hall of Fame, as we know. And I guess I was wrong about the Rico, but and then Denny Doyle was the last one. So the gentleman cut me a great deal. And by the way, let me just show you so you see it. That's the full look of the Carl Yastrzemski, so the Dexter press. But anyway, just so thrilled with that buy. And you will see these again on the channel very soon. That's all I'm going to say. But these were just awesome. These are going to have a great spot in my collection once I figure out exactly what I'm going to do with them. But you will, like I said, you will see them on the channel soon enough in a different format. So guys, that's it. I had an amazing time at the Philly show, and I'm going to scan back up and show you guys again all of the great stuff that I got. Go to the Philly show. If you have a chance, go. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the pickups. Going to be recording with Matt from Providence this week at a new episode of the Hit List, so be sure to check that out. That'll go up on Wednesday. Like I said, I'm going on 4 Collectors tonight, Sunday night with Dan and a few other folks. And then, check out where to follow us on social media. Check out our list of favorite nonprofits and charities. And also, please check out the list of nonprofits and charities, and please consider donating to one of them if you have the means to do so. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time on Wax Pack Wisdom, guys. Take care.